Thank you for joining me for part 2 of my All-State Help videos. I'm Dr. Michele Fiala of Ohio University. Now we are discussing the A-flat major etude on page 34. This one cuts off early, but the instructions specify that you should only play page 34. Seems like an odd place to start, but there has been a modulation to F minor at that point, so it does end on an F, which is tonic, or the key at that point. This one doesn't have a lot of breathing spots, so I recommend that when you get to a cadence point, which is an A-flat until the last line, that you could slow down a little bit before that cadence point or stopping point where it feels resolved, and then take a little bit of extra time to breathe. You'll hear me do this in the video in several different places. So when you reach, for instance, in the 4th line, the A-flat of the descending scale, it feels resolved, and you can, if you slow down, you can take an instant of extra space before you get right back into the tempo for the next section. And then, of course, I mentioned that we have a little detour to F minor on the last line, so after that F at the beginning of the last line, it will feel resolved after, and then you can take a quick breath there before you play those last couple of measures if you need it. You will also need a lot of alternate fingerings in this. There's a great deal of left hand E flat used. Anytime you have a D flat next to an E flat, use your left hand E flat. There are also some places where, for instance, in the 3rd line, the second measure of the 3rd line, you have low C to what would need to be a left hand E flat, and then you have an A flat. So you can either choose to use your right hand A flat, or you can choose to grab your A flat and E flat keys together at the same time. This is something that professional oboists do all the time, and students are often intimidated when they have to grab 2 keys at once, and they feel like their hands might not make the stretch, but it's actually quite a small key, and even people with tiny hands are able to do it. So you could finger the low C, you could put down both of those keys together on the E flat, and then when you lift it, you'll have your A flat already. So it's a trick fingering where the A flat key is already pressed down by this key while you're playing the low E flat, and it makes your life easier. So you can choose that, or you can choose the right hand E flat. That trick is also helpful at the end of the 4th line of this, when you have that A flat followed by an E flat, and then it's going to D flat. So it would need to be a left hand E flat. So you need to use right hand A flat to the left E flat, and then the D flat, or you just grab the A flat and E flat keys at the same time. It's very convenient. On the A flat, then you put down your fingers for E flat, and then you can finger the D flat quite easily. Left hand E flat, again, is useful in quite a few different places. The only place where you're going to need to slide on your right hand is in the 2nd to last line when you have the D flat to C, low D flat to low C. Unfortunately, there's nothing to make that easier on the oboe, and so you'll need to pivot a little bit. So if you have your back of your finger on the C key, you can pivot forward to get the D flat key and practice going back and forth between those. All right, I will now perform this etude for you. Thank you for joining me, and good luck on your audition.